Okay, let's go ahead and in this tutorial make our death more epic, because as of right now our character just, kind of dies, and the second the character dies they just immediately respawn. Okay, so that nothing epic happens, there's no indicator that you've died, you're just, back at a new location, and we all know games don't do that. In addition, if I went and tried to die a second time, you'll notice that I don't. And that's because we only have that do once occurring once, and then it never happens again. So we got to talk about how we can loop the whole thing, or how we can reset that. So I'm going to go ahead, press escape, head over to the content folder and go back to the widgets. And let's first go ahead and create a death screen. So right click over here, and we're going to create a new user interface, a widget blueprint, and we'll just call this death screen. Oh, and we can't have spaces, so we'll just call it like death screen or something. And then I'll double click on that. This will be our death screen, and for this screen I'm just going to use an image. So I'm going to just drag in an image. Right now it's nothing, and let's go ahead and change the type. So where it says anchors, we're going to do full screen mode, and then this allows you to adjust by offset. So if I selected this number and I typed in 0, it will push it up against your viewport, which means that if I made all of these 0, then your entire screen will become the death screen. Okay, so I'm going to select the image and scroll down so we can actually import the image. Okay, where's my images at? I believe it's hiding under brush. Let's open that up. Yep, there we go. Okay, so image here, and you can go online and you can find an image and you can import it. So I'm going to go ahead and select none over here, and I'm just going to go over to my desktop and select the image, but apparently I can't because there's no way to get to my desktop. So I'm guessing I have to import it in before I even get to this step. So let me close out of that, and let's go ahead and import an image. So we're going to just go to File. Let's go back to, we'll get back to this. And I'm doing this here now because if I make mistakes, then you can kind of see my mistakes as well. And that can help, help us all out. Okay, I'm going to go back to content and create a new folder over here. I'm just going to call this images. Okay, and we will put our images in here. And then there's an option here called import. So this is what we're going to select. And then we are going to, wherever your images are saved to, you're going to put them in this folder. So I'm going to head over to my folder, and right over here I have my two things. So I have my You Died screen. So I'm going to click on that, and I used one from Dark Souls. Okay, and now I got that imported into my game. I'm going to go back to content and also create a new folder for sounds. Okay, because I want my death to have a sound to it. And once again, I'm going to go to import, and I'm going to import my sound by double clicking on it. Okay, so I got a sound, and this is just like a 1-second sound and an image. Cool. Okay, so now that I have those both in there, I'm going to go back to my widget and then to my death screen. I'm going to select the image and then go to image over here, and I'm just going to select apologies. I'm just going to type You Died. There we go. Okay, so it saves it based on the name you have it to. Okay, so I'm going to put that right over there. That's my death screen, and it looks great. So we can compile it just for kicks, and then close out of that. And now we're going to jump back over to our level editor. Okay, so open level blueprint. The death screen is going to show up after the actor is destroyed. If you think about it in your game, your character dies, and then the death screen should appear. Let's make some more space just by selecting these and moving them out to the side over there. Once the character is destroyed, it's a widget that we're adding. If you think about where we put the death screen, it was a widget, just like we did for the heads up display earlier. So we're going to go to Create Widget, put that over there, select the death screen, and then on the side over here, we are going to add it to our viewport, just like before. So add to viewport, and we're going to connect it to ourself. So now that shows up, and then we spawn our actor afterwards. We do want to eventually remove it from the viewport, because if we don't, it's going to be really hard to play the game if it's just blocking the entire screen. So let's drag something after the character is possessed, where we remove the parents, turn off your context sensitive box and go remove from parent. Okay. And we are going to remove the widget. So I'm going to go over to create widget. Okay, and it seems like it's not liking that. So let's see if it's probably the target to the return value. Okay. So now if we ran this program, so let me go ahead and compile it and close out of this, and we played it and you tried to die. Man, I should have made that shorter. Okay, you die and the screen showed up. The only issue is that, like I mentioned, that thing is firing off 60 plus times per second, so it happens so quickly that we didn't see like your character actually dying. So we actually need to add in some kind of a delay, or you'll never actually notice it. So let's go back to open level blueprint, and after the character is destroyed and it is put on the viewport, let's add the delay, which is just a delay command. So I'm going to drag this out here and type in delay. Okay, it's for a duration of time. Right now it's set to 0.2 seconds. Let's go ahead and just make it like a 3-second death screen. And then after that, you will regain control of your character and you'll be able to do other things. So if we hit play right now, whoops, not play on that screen. If we go back to the game and hit play, and then I run over here, 20, 10, boom, you died. Okay, and you start back over there. So that's pretty good. Now the only thing we want to do after that is make it loop, because if I try to die again, you know what, not sure what will happen. Let's go ahead. Okay, yeah, so you don't get that you died screen again. If you remember what I mentioned before, we haven't made an infinite loop yet. So let's go just back to open level blueprint, and once the character has been possessed, once this is over, let's try moving it from here. So we're going to remove from parents and drag it over to the reset. So this is the reset for the do once. So that just means once this has happened, reset everything. Okay, I don't know if this is going to work right off the bat, but there's only one way to find out. Oh, that was nice damage right there. If I could just take more damage. Okay, so that's the first screen, and if it triggers a second time, then we know we got this unlock. Okay, I guess I could have just also put the actors closer together. Boom, you died. Okay, so now you could die multiple times because we created a loop there, so now we can die multiple times, which is great. Last thing we're going to do is just quickly add in a sound, because what is death without some kind of sound? So right after we create the widget and play the you die, let's just select all this and move it. We're going to add a sound, and that's just a simple play sound 2D. So the only requirement for this is that it has to be a .wav file. So you might have to convert something online. There's a lot of good converters out there, and make sure you import it. So I'm just going to use my sound that I created, the WL mix, okay, and then I'm going to put that over there. Okay, let's compile this one last time, close out of this, play the level, and now when you run, it'll be worth it, everyone. So 3, 2, 1, and there you go. That's an official death screen. Okay, that's going to conclude this tutorial. If you have any questions, feel free to let me know. Otherwise, I'm signing out. Peace.